Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to What's the Deal, your go-to channel for breaking down the latest trending topics in health, science, and everyday news. Today, we're talking about something that's on the rise and impacting more people than ever. Mycoplasma pneumoniae, also known as walking pneumonia. If you've been hearing about this strange-sounding bacteria popping up in news headlines, you're not alone. This respiratory infection is showing up in more and more people, especially among kids and teens in schools, leading to what health experts are calling an outbreak season. In this video, we'll go over everything you need to know. What Mycoplasma pneumoniae actually is, how it spreads, why we're seeing a surge right now, and what you can do to protect yourself and loved ones from it. If you're interested in staying ahead on health topics like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to What's the Deal. Now, let's dive into the details of Mycoplasma pneumoniae and why it's becoming such a trending topic right now. Mycoplasma pneumoniae is a type of bacteria known to cause mild respiratory infections, often called walking pneumonia, because most cases are mild enough that people can still go about their daily activities. However, it's highly contagious in close contact settings like schools, college dorms, and nursing homes. Unlike many respiratory bacteria, pneumonia doesn't have a cell wall, making it resistant to certain common antibiotics like penicillin. Instead, doctors often rely on macrolides such as azithromycin as the preferred treatment option, though this only works when the bacteria hasn't developed resistance to it. This bacterium spreads primarily through respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs or sneezes, which can be challenging to contain in crowded places. Children and young adults are particularly susceptible, especially as they're more likely to spend extended periods together in schools. According to the CDC, pneumoniae infections have surged in the US since spring 2024, and cases remain high as of early fall. Health officials also point out that symptoms like sore throat, fever, headache, and persistent cough can last for weeks, sometimes leading to more serious complications, such as full-blown pneumonia, in people with weakened immune systems or pre-existing conditions like asthma. This year's rise in cases could be due to increased gatherings post-pandemic, lower natural immunity to pneumoniae after the isolation periods, and the limited use of preventive measures such as masks and hand washing in recent years. Health experts are monitoring the situation closely, particularly as we approach the colder months, which traditionally bring a higher risk for respiratory infections. Let's take a closer look at why Mycoplasma pneumoniae infections are peaking and what sets this bacterium apart. Unlike other pneumonia-causing bacteria, Mycoplasma pneumonia has unique characteristics that enable it to evade the immune system and persist in the respiratory system longer than many other infections. For example, pneumoniae produces a toxin known as Community-Acquired Respiratory Distress Syndrome, CARDS toxin. This toxin is not only responsible for irritating and inflaming the airways, but it also interferes with normal immune responses, allowing the bacteria to stay in the body longer. As a result, symptoms such as a persistent cough, chest pain, and general fatigue can last weeks or even months. Additionally, pneumoniae lacks a cell wall, which not only makes it more flexible, but also means that certain common antibiotics, particularly beta-lactams like penicillin, are ineffective. This resistance to standard treatments complicates recovery, especially as healthcare providers try to limit the overuse of macrolide antibiotics, which are effective against pneumoniae but can lead to resistance if prescribed too broadly. According to recent CDC data, macrolide-resistant strains of pneumoniae are still uncommon in the US, but over-reliance on any antibiotic class can increase the risk of resistance over time. The 2024 surge in pneumoniae also seems to be linked to changes in social behaviors and immunity levels. After years of using preventive measures like masks, many people are now more susceptible to respiratory infections as natural immunity against various pathogens has declined. Moreover, unlike viral illnesses like COVID-19 or the flu, pneumoniae has a long incubation period, between 1 and 4 weeks, which means an infected person can spread the bacteria to others long before showing symptoms. The lack of immediate symptoms can lead to unintended spreading, particularly in settings like schools, where children spend hours together in close proximity each day. Public health officials are advising schools and other high-risk environments to reinforce basic hygiene practices such as hand washing, covering coughs, and staying home if symptoms appear. However, due to the varied and mild symptoms in many cases, it can be difficult to detect and prevent the spread of pneumoniae effectively. For parents and caretakers, awareness of the subtle symptoms, like a persistent mild fever or cough in children, can be the first step in recognizing an infection that might otherwise go unnoticed. The impact of this outbreak season extends beyond just physical health. School absenteeism due to respiratory illnesses has reportedly increased, placing additional pressure on parents, schools, and healthcare providers to manage both the illness and its broader implications. This rise in Mycoplasma pneumonia serves as a reminder of the long-lasting impacts that respiratory illnesses can have, especially in high-contact environments and communities with vulnerable populations, such as those with asthma or compromised immune systems. To illustrate the current impact of Mycoplasma pneumoniae, let's look at some real-world cases and how they're unfolding. In a recent outbreak at a middle school in Georgia, multiple students and teachers experienced prolonged coughs, fatigue, and sore throats. The school reported a higher than usual number of absences, leading local health officials to investigate. After lab tests confirmed Mycoplasma pneumoniae, the school implemented additional hygiene measures and began advising parents to keep symptomatic children home. This is a common scenario playing out in schools across the country, where the high density of students makes rapid transmission likely. Another example comes from a long-term care facility in New York, where a series of respiratory illnesses among residents initially went undiagnosed as typical seasonal flu. However, after symptoms lingered and spread more widely, testing revealed that pneumoniae was the culprit. In facilities like these, where elderly and immunocompromised individuals are especially susceptible to severe symptoms, early identification and isolation of cases have become crucial in managing the spread. In college dormitories, cases have also been rising, as young adults living closely together are prone to respiratory infections. The college environment, combined with stress and shared airspaces, creates an ideal setting for pneumoniae to thrive. Health centers in universities are now advising students to practice vigilant hygiene and report respiratory symptoms early to curb further spread. These examples highlight how the current outbreak of Mycoplasma pneumonia affects different settings and age groups. Whether in schools, long-term care facilities, or college dorms, the lack of immediate, obvious symptoms often delays diagnosis and allows the bacteria to spread more easily. With more cases anticipated as the colder months approach, understanding how this bacteria operates in real-life situations can help individuals and institutions better prepare for the coming months. In summary, Mycoplasma pneumoniae may sound like a rare condition, but it's an increasingly common and persistent respiratory infection, especially in crowded settings like schools and dorms. With cases spiking this year, staying informed about symptoms and practicing preventive measures, like regular hand washing and covering coughs, can help reduce the spread. Remember, Mycoplasma pneumonia isn't as responsive to standard antibiotics, so proper diagnosis is key to receiving the correct treatment if symptoms persist. As we enter colder months, the focus on respiratory health is more important than ever. By recognizing the signs early and maintaining awareness of our health choices, we can help limit outbreaks in our communities. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to What's the Deal for more insights into trending health and news topics. Stay safe, everyone, and thanks for watching.